What up, where's your boy Chuck Wick, aka Challz Brown, back again for another Talking Facts. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell to get notified on all the upcoming episodes. All right, man, Antonio Brown is doing his world tour, doing these podcasts, trying to clear his name. He sat down with Brandon Marshall on the I Am Athlete podcast, and he talked about how he left the Buccaneers and this and that. And Brandon tried to talk some sense into him about, you shouldn't have took your pads and threw your wrist, your gloves, and this and that up into the stand. You should have did it a different way. And Brandon was like, if the coach was coming at you a certain way on some man-to-man stuff, you should have just gotten the coach in and said, I'm going to see you in the locker room, and left it at that, right? He was trying to tell him, man, you're trying to get in the Hall of Fame, and that's the end game. When you play this game, the end game is getting the Hall of Fame. Now you don't push yourself backwards, right? And I'm going to read what he said. Because Antonio Brown is trying to assure us that he's not mentally deranged. He goes, why every time something happens bad or how someone reacts, he's crazy. There's something wrong with his mental health. There's nothing wrong with my mental health. Someone told me to get the F out of here. I'm not passive aggressive. All right, man. Let's talk about it. So Antonio Brown doesn't think something's wrong with his mental health, which is called denial. First of all, let me just say this on a personal level. Something wrong with all our mental health. All of us got something, right? And if you say you ain't got nothing wrong with you, you don't understand your own body. All of us got something, some mental issue that we're dealing with. All of us we get sad, we get happy, we get angry, we get something, right? Whereas we got to figure out how to handle and cope with just life itself. So if we say there's nothing wrong with his mental health, is just basically on the strength of being a human. All of us have some issues that we're dealing with. Let's just start there. But his issues extend because he doesn't know how to hold back his emotions. He doesn't know how to formulate a plan that will get him from A to B. He can't seem to get to B. He'll start at A and get caught up in the middle and fumble and lose his way and get sidetracked. Most people know I got to do A, B, C, D to keep my job. Whether I'm depressed today or anxious or I'm sad or I'm confused, whatever it is, we got to do A, B, C, D to maintain our salary. We got to do A, B, C, D to maintain our friendships and our network connects, our work environment, right? To maintain our working relationships. We all have to do something to stay focused. Therefore, you draw on common sense and sensibilities, and you learn how to play well with other people. That's mental health. You have the mental stamina to, beyond your day-to-day struggles where you're feeling like, what's it all about? You still can communicate and form a sentence and talk directly to people to make them feel like, oh, this person's stable enough to stay in our company and work here, right? That's mental health in a nutshell, where you are able to maintain employment. Antonio Brown's job right now is going on podcasts and making rap records with Kanye West, which neither one of those are going to pay off anything. I'm just going to keep it a buck. I don't know nobody who's going to be running around trying to buy Antonio Brown music and stream his stuff on a regular basis, enough for him to pay the bills that he needs to pay to keep the cars that he has and the homes that he have and the partying that he does. Rap ain't gonna get it. And doing free podcasts ain't gonna get it. And even if they paying you 10 grand, they can't pay you but so much because they ain't making but so much with the podcast. So I don't think podcasts and rapping, learning how to rap at that, is going to get it. NFL was getting it. So I get people in my comments, he don't need the money. Why don't he? Who don't need money? Jay-Z still out here grinding like he ain't made $1. Why Antonio Brown so rich that he don't need the money? This is the thing with people who don't have a lot of money like this guy. They don't have the bills he have. They don't have the responsibilities he have. So they think what he made for the season is going to last him his entire life. This guy was complaining about getting incentives to make $1 million. Why do you think he's complaining about he needs the money? Money dries up, bro, especially when you buying fur coats and you buying sneakers and you taking girls to Timbuktu or wherever you riding out to in your private jets or you renting a jet. This guy blows money at a fast rate. This guy was living with Tom Brady, living in his house, right? It ain't all hunky-dory like you think it is, bro. Now, with all that being said, it means you need a job. And if you need a job, you got to show mental stability. Not lose 4 jobs in 3 years. Which is in essence what he did. It couldn't have been no more than 3 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it's been 3 years. Steelers to the Pats. Pats to the Raiders. Raiders to the Bucks. All right, I'll give you 4 years, best, right? Something like that. Because he did the Patriots. He did 1 game, and then that season went. And then the season after that, Brady left, and then he went to the Bucks. He never hit the field with the Raiders. He did the season with the Bucks last year. He got hurt, and he still played in the Super Bowl, came back in time, and then he played this season. Last 2 games of the season, he melted. He had a meltdown, got kicked off the team, right? You tell me who don't have, how is your mental health okay when you, in essence, right? Not these ain't minimum wage jobs. If you had a buddy that got fired for behavior from 4 jobs in 3 years, like good job. Now I'm not talking about you making 15 bucks. I'm talking about $1 million jobs, bro. Let's keep it a buck. This guy ain't working at no Arthur Treacher's. He ain't working at a Sonic, bro. Right? This guy making millions. He getting millions, and he get more if he catch the ball. If he on the field to catch the ball, he had a $30 million guarantee with the Raiders, bro. We're not talking chump change. So if you had a buddy, right? Be honest with yourself. If you had a buddy that lost $30 million on 1 deal because he couldn't keep his mouth shut, you'd be like, something wrong with buddy. You'd be like, buddy, something's wrong. Bro, you lost $30 million. Then you went to play with the Bucks. And 1 season later, you taking off all your stuff and throwing it in the stands, and now you off that team? And you trying to tell me your mental health is okay? He said, what'd he say? I'm not passive aggressive. You don't got to be passive aggressive to keep your job. Right? You don't got to be passive aggressive to maintain employment. You got to know how to function in these situations. That's not how you handle it. It's a players union. You got an agent. You could have walked in the locker room. You didn't have to leave the field. You didn't have to leave the field. You didn't do nothing wrong. The coach can't make you leave the field. You didn't do nothing wrong. This the big leagues. This ain't college. He can't say, get out of here, get off the field. What player, what grown man making that kind of money gonna leave the field? Because this guy's saying that. You ought to sit back down because that's your job. Now look at you. He's denying ever saying it. Now it's your word against his. Right? So, end of the day, we're gonna say something is wrong with your mental health. You can't sustain employment long enough to collect the money due to you. You can't even make it to your incentives. You lost 3 games. You lost 3 games because you had a fake vaccination card. That ain't nobody's fault. That speaks to mental health. With all this money on the line, you gonna get a fake vaccination card and get caught? Drag Mike Evans into it? That speaks to mental health. Because ain't no way in the world I'm gonna lose that money on a fake vaccination card. You see Kyrie stood up, he's like, I ain't getting it. It is what it is. If you against it, then say that and don't do what you did, because then you look silly and you lost money anyway, because then you didn't make the incentives that you want, and you put that all on Brady's head to get you your incentives, which he still was going to do for you. But in your mind, you think that all of this is normal. All of this is sane behavior from a normal human being. This is neurotic. It's weird. It is, I'm not going to say insane, right? I am going to say that it is illogical to everyday working people like myself and most of the people watching this who wouldn't have heard a peep out of them if they had $30 million on the table guaranteed. They would have been like, where we practicing at? What time you need me to be there? They wouldn't have been talking about no, the athlete's foot or whatever's going on with your toe. None of that. It would have been, yes, sir, I'll be there early. All you had to do is hit the field. They would have paid you your money. All of them, they all wanted you. It's mental instability. So, sir, you do have a problem with your mental health. We don't need you to confirm it. If I had a man that gave up this amount of money and lost this much money as you did, just because he can't keep his mouth shut, and he wants to tweet, and he wants to Instaham and do all this other stuff, which, yeah, that helps brand, but it don't put the money in your pocket that you're going to need to sustain yourself. The football field is where it's at for you, bro. And until you realize that, nothing else going to work. So you do have a mental health issue. And your mental health issue is that you can't stay employed. That's a problem, bro. Get help. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. Does he have a mental health issue or he doesn't? I don't know. You tell me. Chuck Wickhill, CLBMG. Go check that page out. I got a whole website up. New music is up, videos, all that good stuff like that there. The podcast, we just started it, the Clash, the podcast. Me, Dante, and Fliz. We go live on Facebook on Wednesdays. We did the first one, and it's going to get so much better. We just did a dry run just to do it, but it's going to get so much better. I advise y'all to just check that out. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.